charity case, at best they see it as a social protection lens. We're not.
Okay, let's get to the last one. So
Yes.
I'm with the first two. It's
Yes.
either, say it again.
We're invisible.
Yeah. So it's like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, we don't
just
exist.
Put it, all that stuff in the corner. We don't want to look at it, kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
People don't realize that we're 16% of the world's population. They just can't.
16%. That's
They just
crazy.
can't believe that, which
Wow.
we are. Then we might be seen as a charity pity lens.
Mm.
You know, we're a charity case.
Yeah.
At best, we're seen as a social protection lens.
That's the part I wasn't. What is that?
So, we're very much pigeonholed within the Ministry of Social Affairs, Labor, Education, and Health. We're seen as a social issue. We're seen as, we need to take care of you. We need to, and I say, listen, yes, I need to be taken care of like any other humans, right? Provide me my service like any other humans, but I want you to break down barriers in the society, in the system, and don't see it as a favor. See it as actually the right thing to do so I can contribute into the economy, because you know what? You're losing out on 7% of the GDP by not including us into your economy. So we would talk to digital ministers and say, are you thinking about accessibility and disability into your framework? We would talk to Minister of Tourism. We would talk to Minister of Investment and Trade. And in most of these ministers, they said, in my 30 years, I've never thought about this topic.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
So because you were like knocking on doors and waking people up, 50 countries over 3 years. I love that.
And to be honest, like in the beginning, our embassies would want to, when they organize our trips, they would want us to meet with the Minister of Social, Labor, Education, and Health. And we'd say, no, we want to meet with these ministries,
nice.
Trade, Investment, Tourism. And so that was also part of the work, is how do we get all levels of our engagements to see disability as beyond a social issue.
That's awesome. Yeah, we talk in my new book, and also in our foundation, talk about GDP to GDPurpose.
Oh, I like that.
Isn't that good, huh?
I like that.
GDP to GDPurpose, right? Where we get to, magnify our own gifts, not because it's a cute thing to do or a nice thing to do. It's because we all have gifts, and those, when we drive forward from seeing each other as special gifts, and how can I help you live that gift, then we all thrive.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I love that. But, society's still focusing, and I remember this conversation with a leader of our country where he literally turns to me, he says, Sara, my dream is for you not to be blind someday. I want to find a cure for your blindness. And I turned to him, I was like, why is that your effort and your focus? My dream is for you to create a world where I, as a blind person, and people with disabilities can exist with no barriers. That should be fix the system. Don't fix me as a person. Why are we seeing disability as something negative? Disability for me is disability. I just have a disability. I cannot see. I can't see. That's it. Don't assume what I can or cannot do. So these are the conversations that are important to have.
Wow. Tell me some stories. 50 countries, 3 years. Holy cow. I just want to hear some stories.
I mean, it was...
First of all, did everybody pretty much fall into one of those 3 boxes? Like, give or take?
For the most part, I think, in a lot of spaces, it was a lot of talking to leaders that have not been thinking about disability through the economic lens, or you're talking...
So you were in the right place, because that you okay, so I'm going to interrupt you New York style. Here we go. So when you had to frame who you were going to see, that was probably the most important decision that you made, and you were probably ruffling some feathers, and people hadn't thought that way. Can you take us
even
through that
within our
first?
Systems?
I'll bet.
It was...
That's brilliant, by the way, because it would have been so easy to follow convention and then try to change the people that are already caught up into those boxes of which departments they reigned over. Right? So take me through that first.
So when we would choose to go to any trip, any country and do a trip, our embassies are the ones who help, draft up the schedule, organize the meetings. And always the initial schedule would be meet with the disability organizations, meet with these ministries of social, labor, health, and education, and here you are. And we would go back and say, yes, I definitely want to meet with the organization of persons with disabilities, because I want to hear what's the reality on the ground and what are the gaps and how can we advance their issues. But I also want to meet with civil society and organizations that are not thinking about disability. So climate organizations, women organizations, pro-democracy organizations, those organizations that are not thinking about disability, I want to meet with them. I want to meet with ministries of digital inclusion, AI, investment, trade, tourism. These ministries are not thinking about that. I want to meet with companies. And please don't just give me companies so we can talk about inclusive employment. I want to talk about companies and are they talking about their products and services and policies that are disability inclusive? I want to meet with media and entertainment. People are like, entertainment? What do you mean by entertainment? Well, entertainment is where a lot of disability narrative is perpetuated, right? So we would go back and say, these are the different sectors we want to meet with. We're going to expand those sectors. So then our embassies, to be honest, it was a back and forth a lot of times, but by the end of the 3 years, we actually developed a playbook for our embassies.
So you left with your legacy, and I know you're humble, so you won't say this, I'll say it, but like with a legacy of really a whole new structure